information, course learning outcomes, and of course the weekly lecture schedules. Weekly lecture schedule. So what is the plan for this week, next week, and so on, and so on. So these are informational documents for you. And of course, there are some Google form. I think most of you have joined. I think most of you lah, but some of you maybe have not read your email. And in the email, I think you should see this. Should see this one. Okay. This is where you should register for your how to join the Telegram group. Unfortunately, some of you didn't allow me to add you to the group because of your settings, because of the privacy setting. So I cannot add you, but I managed to, when I received that kind of error messages, I just Telegram you back asking to let me add you. So I believe also some of you have already registered, have already filled in the Google form, but have not contacted me. So the problem with this is that I have two classes this semester, and both classes have around 60 students each. So I have around 120 students altogether. So I might lost track who have filled in the form. So it is good if you can message me once you fill in the form. Oh, I have a problem here. So can you see my video here? Can you see me on the screen? Webex telling me that my camera is not working. Is it working now?
Working better.
Okay. All right. So let me put it there. Okay. So now I'm on the monitor. All right. So now you can see me in the presentation. All right. So now, the topic that we are going to discuss here today is how to study for my class, how to study and how to get good grades for this class. Actually, it's not for only this class, it's for any classes that is using the semester system. Okay, so this is based from my experience when I was a student. Using semester system. For your information, I graduated from the US, okay, which a country that is using a semester system. Okay, so kita ni UTM is using US punya system lah basically. UTM is using the US semester system. So in my case, I have very good experience with the semester system because I was educated in the US for 11 years. 11 tahun, 11 years from my bachelor, my master's, my second master's, and my PhD. So I think I have a very good understanding about how semester system works. Okay, I think most of the students here in UTM are not exposed on how to study for the semester system. So if you really understand semester system, it will be I think beneficial for you. And I think it will be easier for you to know how to get good grades for this class. Okay, so any question so far? Any questions? Okay, if there's no question, I have a question for you. So what is the passing mark for this class? Anyone? Anyone? So you do not know what is the passing mark for this class? Is that so? Come on. You should know. Anyone? This is not a good sign, eh? This is not a good sign.
50.
50. What else? Anyone else? 50. Siapa tadi cakap tadi? Siapa tadi? Tak nampak pula siapa yang cakap tadi. Siapa ya?
Saya, Doktor. Saya.
Saya tapi tak sebut nama. Sebutlah nama. Saya punya skrin ni penuh dengan skrin student so I cannot see siapa yang bercakap tadi. Ashraf ke? Alright, thank you Ashraf. Ashraf say 50s. 50 and then siapa ni dekat chat ni? Ashraf, Faridul Ashraf, Sazwan Razi 40, Adam Safillah 50. So which one? Ada kata 40, ada kata 50 ni, mana satu ni? Which one is the passing mark? Anybody? How do you know which one? So yang kata 40, how do you know 40? The one who says 50. How do you know it's 50? What is your source of reference here? Okay, the reason I'm asking this question, always, every end of the semesters, when I when I posted the unofficial grade, a lot of students asking me, sir, markah lulus berapa? What is the passing mark of this class? Saya rasa this is not a good sign, especially when you are at the end of the semester and you want to know if you pass or not pass the class. Okay, so macam mana kita nak tahu? How do you know what is the passing mark? Anybody can tell me how do you know which one is? How do you know to check for passing mark? Dekat mana So selama ni kamu study macam mana? Selama ni kamu study target. What is your target for this class? Anyone? So what is your target for this class? Tak ada target, janji lulus je. Is that the case? Tapi nak lulus pun tak tahu apa markah. Ini isunya. So, anyone? So what is your target for this class? Oh man, come on, please answer me. Saya ni dah disconnected ke apa ni? Am I still online?
Target lah doktor.
What's your target, Ashraf?
Saya punya target macam apa yang saya dapat tu, itu lah rezeki saya. Tapi kena usaha doktor. Tapi saya tak tahu target apa, tapi 50 ke atas lah doktor.
50 ke atas. This is not a good target lah actually. This is not a good target. You know why? When you set a target, you will work for it. If you just set 40 or 50, then means that you are targeting for just pass for this class. And sekarang ni you do not know what is the passing mark for this class.
Sebab doktor, ada doktor cakap kita ni tak boleh nak letak harapan yang tinggi tau. Takut nanti tak dapat tu kecewa. So apa yang saya punya mindset saya target 50 ke atas, tapi kalau dapat lebih tu itu rezeki saya.
This is wrong. This is wrong attitude.
This is wrong doktor.
Yes. Saya tak setuju dengan lecturer mana yang cakap tu. I don't agree. You know why?
Tapi doktor tak apa.
Apa dia? Tapi doktor apa? Ashraf, continue.
Tapi doktor, benda tu yang selama ni saya rasa macam betul kot apa yang dia cakap tu. Sebab contoh sebab kalau saya target A+, sebab saya rasa benda ni memang daripada zaman sekolah lagi saya selalu target tinggi tapi tak dapat tinggi. Kalau saya tak target tinggi tapi boleh dapat benda tu.
Okay. Okay lah. It's up to you. Anyway, it's just an opinion
tapi itu pandangan saya lah doktor.
In my opinion,
kena tengok kat saya punya usaha macam mana. Thank you doktor.
In my opinion, okay, if you set low, okay, kalau kamu you set your target very low and you don't achieve it, which means you achieve lower than you expected, then you might fail. So again, the student dekat sini, I think that is, to me lah, frankly speaking, this is the wrong attitude. You should set the best that you can get ialah 80 and A. Itu saja target dia. You aim for 80 and work for that 80. Okay, kita aim tinggi tak apa. Aim tinggi. So we work hard for it. Tak dapat, tak apa. Itu bukan rezeki kita. You punya attitude, Ashraf, is slightly different. You target for 50 and you get 60, for example. Okay, Alhamdulillah, itu rezeki saya. No. In my case, this is the other way around. I target for 80, but I get 60, no, then I know. Okay, that is not my rezeki. Okay, that's the one. So, but when you set a target, you work hard for it to get it. Jadi ada drive, the motivation is there. Itu masalahnya, itu. Okay, itu yang kita kena buat. So in this case, minimum berapa passing grade? So a lot of student akan tanya saya, Doctor, do I pass the class? Because I get 40, I get 50. Do I pass? Okay, this is the attitude yang saya rasa, which I believe is not correct. Okay, you should set a good target, which is 80, NA. Okay, NA. But in case you do not get NA, that's fine. Maybe you are not good enough. Maybe you tak study, you didn't put enough effort, okay, in the class. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. But you aim high, you get low better. But if you aim low, you get lower, you might fail my class. Itu dia bahayanya. Okay, because to me, the target you set will drive you to get that grade. Ni apa hal ni? Daniel, apa yang kamu share ni? Okay, right? So, okay, so the idea of this session is to tell you how to study correctly for semester system. Okay, for semester system. Okay, let's start with, first of all, let me tell you the passing mark for this class is 40, is 40. Okay, but do not set your target at 40 or at 50. Set it more than that. Set it at 80. Okay, set it at 80. So the target will drive you. Okay, will drive you. Kalau setakat nak lulus 40, itu yang jadi homework tak nak hantar. Okay, assignment meniru, homework tak nak hantar, buat setakat buat, tak ada drive, tak ada motivation. This is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. So what we want here is 80. I want everyone to get at least try to get 80, 80 supaya semua orang dapat A. That is the idea here. Alright, so first of all, kita nak tengok macam mana how can we work to get that target? Okay, how to study for this class. Okay, now let me share. This thing here, which is the course information. And this course information, you can get it from our e-learning. Okay, so this is the one. Daniel, so berapa nak pass? Can somebody answer this for Daniel?
50-50. 40-40.
40.
40 lah, Daniel.
Is it correct, Doctor? 40.
What have you been doing, Daniel? Berapa baru tahu 40? 40 markah lulus. Ingat the source of information is from your student's handbook. Buka lah, baca lah handbook tu. Mungkin tak dapat hard copy tapi ada on the website dekat School of Mechanical Engineering tu ada. Okay, you are not giving me a good impression lah. Okay, sorry to say baru first day of class, nampak sangat banyak benda yang kamu tak tahu.
Sorry, Doctor.
So, itu yang saya kata tadi. You need to know. You need to know lah. Kalau kita nak usaha sesuatu, tu takkan membabi buta je. So, kena tahulah. So, in this case, okay, the passing mark is 40. 40, 40. Alright, so now let's go to this page here. This is what we call the course information. The course information for this class. Okay, so all this is written here. Let me show you. Okay, okay, this is course information for this class, and you can get it from here. You can get it from our e-learning portal. E-learning portal, which is this one. Okay, hopefully you have logged in. You have logged into our e-learning. Wait, I think this one here. Yeah, this one. This is the course information file. This is the course learning outcome, and this is the lecture schedule, weekly lecture schedule. Alright, so there are two questions here. Kita punya class, our class is 3 credits, 3 credits, which means we meet 3 hours a week, 3 period a week. So today is only 1 period, Okay, the next class will be 2 periods, right? So we have 3 periods per week, which correspond to this 3 credit hours. This one, number 3 here. This one means 3 credit hours. So 3-hour lecture per week. Okay, so the question here is, okay, in order to get 80, okay, how should we study? What is the strategy here? What is the strategy to get 80 for this class? Okay, so first of all, look at this course information file. So these are the lecturers. These are the lecturers teaching this class. Not this semester. Dr. William is still the coordinator for this class. This is me. And I think Dr. Fairuz is also teaching. PM Ainul is, PM Ainul retired. Retired already, tak ada dah nama dia. Dr. Haris, I'm not sure. Encik Ahmad Zafri is also teaching. So we have a few lecturers that teaching this class. So the exam, the test, and the final exam will be the same for every section. Okay, standardized. Only the lecturers are different. Okay, so these are the lecturers' name. These are the CLO, what we call the course learning outcome, or what we say as simply say this is the objective of this class. At the end of the semester, you should be able to establish basic equation for finite element method for structural problem and heat transfer. Okay, we have 2 kind of problems in our finite element, heat transfer problem and structural problem. Basically solid mechanics problem. Solid mechanics problem. And the next one is analyze simple real life engineering problem by hand calculation. By hand calculation. So we have to calculate it manually without the use of finite element software. Okay, the third one is analyze real life problem using finite element software. And then we interpret the results. And finally, we present the result software orally and in writing, which means you have to present it and you have to write a report. Okay, write a report. So these are the 4 objectives, but take a look at this weight. If you look, establishing the basic equation is only about 16%. Analyzing simple real-life engineering problem using hand calculation is 64%. Okay, this one, analyze using software, is only 15%, and your presentation and your report writing is only 5%. So if you look at this course information, it says that most of the class is heavy on this hand calculation. Okay, so basically you need to understand the concept of finite element before you use the software, before you use the finite element software. So we are stressing mostly on this. Okay, and then we have this taxonomies and general skills. So we have C3, we have C4, we have C4, we have P4. So what are all these things? Anybody can tell me what is C3 here? Anybody? Anybody? Have you experienced this before? Your other lecturer before me talked about all these C3, C4, and so on? Anyone? Anyone? Kalau tak ada, say no, so I know I'm still online.
No.
Okay, too bad. Too bad nobody talked to you about all this. So I'll talk about this later. I'll talk about all this C3, C4, and so on later. Because there are other things that I need to go through. So the teaching and learning method is lecture, active and blended learning, and so on. Okay, so how do we access? How do we check if you have certified the objective number 1? So we give you a test and final exam. Basically, there's a question on this objective during the test and during your final exam. Okay, so the same thing here. So you can download this what we call course information, and you can see on your own that analyzing this using hand calculation is tested. Is evaluated or is assessed using your homework, your test, and your final. Okay, the same thing here. This is homework and project. This is just your project. For oral presentation and report writing, we assess during your project. Okay, so this is how. So one question still remains. What is C4? What is P4? And what is C3? And what is C4? This is a question that I have not answered yet. Okay, now let's go to the other thing. Is that this is the weekly schedule. Week 1 is this, week 2 is this, week 4, and so on. Okay, and the other thing that is important, other than the C level, C1, C2, C3, C4, and so on, is this student learning time. Okay, so take a note that the total student learning time is 120 hours. 120 hours per semester. So, before I go any further, can anybody tell me what is SLT? What is this? Can anybody tell me what is SLT? What is student learning time? Senyap je ni. Nobody talks to you about what is student learning time? Dah tahun 3 ni. Nobody? So? Anybody know what is student learning time? Can you tell me? Tahu ke tak tahu ni? Do you know or do you not know what is student learning time? Say something, please.
Yeah, I answer.
What's that? Aina?
Okay, so student learning time basically time suggested or plan on how long student need to study for this course.
Yes, betul tu. So basically, this is the amount of time you have to spend. The minimum amount of time you need to spend studying for this class. Okay, this is student learning time. So it's not just attending my lecture. My lecture is only 3 hours a week, or about lebih kurang berapa 14 minggu kali 3 jam seminggu, which is only 42 hours. My lectures is if you look at the student learning time, it is 120 hours per semester. But if you just follow my lecture, it's only 42 hours per semester because we have 3 hours a lecture, 3 hours lecture per week, times in one semester we have 14 weeks, which is 42 hours. 42 hours. Okay, so we need to spend 42 hours just listening to my lecture, or in the case of face-to-face, coming to the my lecture. But we still have 120 hours here. So note that it is not just the lecture. It includes other things such as reading, such as doing the homework to complete this 120 hours. Okay, so let's do some calculation. Let's do some calculation. So kita tahu that our SLT for one semester is 120. Okay, and we have 14 weeks. So how many hours per week that we need to allocate for this class? So can anybody calculate this for me, please? I do not have my calculator. So which is around 8.6 hours per week. Per week. To make it simpler, we say this 9 hours per week lah. 9 hours per week. So how many hours per lecture per week do we have? Okay, 9 hours is our SLT, is our student learning time, minus lecture is 3 hours, right? Per week. So what is left? 6 hours. So what do we do with the 6 hours here? So what is the 6 hours? Can anybody tell me? Aina, I think you understand the basic concept of student learning time. So you should be able to tell me what is 6 hours.
Homework
Mhm.
assignments,
Mm-hmm.
and then reading.
Reading. So basically, this is just the time that you need to allocate to study on your own, right? To study on your own.
Yeah.
Betul? Right, so this is the formula lah. This is the formula, easy formula. So what I'll do, normally what I'll do is for every 1 hour lecture, because we know this is 1 week. So in 1 week we have 3 hour lecture. So we have 1 hour lecture. Okay, 1 hour lecture. So sorry, we have 3 hour lecture per week. Okay, so we need to spend 9 hours. We need to spend 9 hours. So let's say we split it to only an hour. So in this case, we have 1 hour lecture. So what I'll do here is I will do 1 hour pre-lecture. Okay, and then 1 hour post-lecture. Okay, so I'll allocate 1 hour for my lecture. You come to my class, okay, either online or face-to-face, then do this 1 hour lecture, right? And then before coming to my class, what you need to do is to do at least allocate 1 hour pre-lecture activities, okay? Pre-lecture activities. In this case, what you want to do is maybe read the textbook, okay, and then write own notes. Okay, so this is a pre-activity. This is a pre-lecture activities. So before I go to the topic, you have read it, you have write your own note. Okay, you have written your own note. So this is the idea. This is the idea. So basically, before even joining my lecture, what will happen is that you already have a what we call, you are mentally ready for my class. You already prepared. You have done the preparation to be in my class. Of course, my lecture is just a lecture. So let's say you are writing down your own notes, and then suddenly, when I give my lecture, it seems that whatever you wrote in your notes is conflicting with the one that I told you in class. So they will create confusion, right? And when you have confusion, what will happen is that you will keep asking questions. Sir, I read the textbook, it says this, but when you give us the lecture, you say something like this. So I don't understand. Can you please explain? So this is where it is beneficial to do all this pre-lecture activity. Okay, so you learn on your own, and you learn when you are in the lecture. Okay, you learn by, in this case, questioning. You learn by questioning, because you seems that when I read the textbook, it says something else, but when I attend your lecture, you said something else. Okay, so which one is correct? Okay, so this is the idea. So you are mentally prepared for the class. So you are ready. Ini kalau tak buat benda ni, masuk kelas pun tak prepare, tak tahu apa yang lecturer nak cerita, jadual kuliah pun, I mean what topic to talk about this week pun kamu tak tahu. So you are not prepared at all. Nota pun tak ada, tak ambil. Okay, so this is the issue. So that's why tadi target, kalau nak target setakat 40 nak lulus saja, bolehlah macam tu. Silap-silap pun tak lulus. But if you remember, I'm telling you this because our target is not 40, it's not 40, but our target is 80, NA. Okay, so of course sekarang ni sorry to say lah, anak saya pun masih belum dapat kerja lagi. Anak saya graduan UTP, graduate bulan 8 tahun lepas, sampai sekarang belum dapat kerja. Okay, sampai sekarang belum dapat kerja. Dia graduate, sorry, bulan 9 hari tu. Dia pergi konvo bulan berapa dia pergi konvo saya tak ingat. Tapi masih belum dapat kerja. Okay, sebab ramai sangat dekat luar tu yang graduated dan masih lagi tak dapat kerja. So if your CGPA is just like 2.0 aduh, nak compete dengan budak-budak yang dapat 3.7, 3.6, do you think you can get the job? It's not easy, It's not easy. So our target is always to get the best that we can get. In our case, in this class, 80. And to get an 80, this is the amount of work you have to do. This is the way that you have to work. Okay, so on our lecture, and then of course we have 1 hour post-lecture. So I think Aina just now mentioned about doing the homework. Okay, but I will not do that before. I'll do something else first. I'll update my notes. Okay, janganlah harapkan nota saya saja. Okay, janganlah harap nota saya sahaja. Do not depend totally on my notes. Okay, you write the note better because when you write the note, you understand better. Well, you read my note, you might not understand better. Okay, the best thing is to write your own notes and update your notes afterwards. After class, update the notes. And then, of course, do the homework or assignment. Do homework and assignment, whatever the homework assignment is. So, why do we have to do the homework? Anybody can tell me why do we have to do the homework?
Because untuk kita melatihkan diri sendiri, doktor. Macam homework tu ibarat macam latihan, at the same time kita buat latihan. Betul tak, doktor?
Tak betul.
Tak betul tak? Okay, saya tahu. Untuk kita pass ke tak betul tak, doktor? Kalau tak buat homework, tak buat assignment, macam kita nak pass? Ke salah tak, doktor?
No. I think you get the idea, but it is not that accurate lah. Okay, so let me tell you why do we have to do the homework. Okay, remember kalau orang kata buat latihan ni, it's not about latih to be. It doesn't work. Latih to be at university level doesn't work. Okay, I know you're so used about latih to be. I'm sorry for our non-Malaysian students. Malaysian students are exposed to this. Masa sekolah menengah lagi. Sampai kat universiti pun masih lagi nak buat latih to be. No, it's not working. Dia kan, we do homework because this is what I call as the enforcement of understanding. Okay, kita nak reinforce kefahaman. Okay, do we understand or do we not understand? So when you do the homework, okay, you know that, oh, I don't understand this topic. Okay, so I need to read the textbook or I need to see the lecturer. Nak tanya dia, oh, kenapa ni, kenapa macam tu, kenapa macam ni. Kalau kamu, if you do the homework without understanding why you are doing the homework, why do you have to calculate this, why do you have to calculate that, then it doesn't work. Okay, always ask yourself, why do I have to do this? Why? Ini, okay, I have experience talking to a lecturer who graduated from Imperial College, which is a very good university in the UK. Okay, she told me that a Malaysian student and Imperial College student ask different questions, different set of questions. Dia kata Malaysian student always tanya, macam mana nak buat ni? How do we do this? How do we solve this? Okay, but the Imperial College student will ask, why do we have to do this? Why? Because the question why means you need to understand better, you need to understand, then you can solve the problem. Macam kita dilatih, okay, kita buat ni. The first thing is you do this, step A, and then do step B, and do step C. Okay, this is the current style of Malaysian student. But in the UK, in the US, the student will ask, okay, the student will do their own procedure. Step A, step B, step C. They will do it based on their understanding. Kita dekat sini in Malaysia, the lecturers ke, the teachers ke, they'll give you, okay, do step A first, then step B, then step C, and so on. This is wrong. You are becoming robot. You are becoming what we call, what my friend call a cat monkey. Cat monkey ni macam kita latih beruk pergi panjat ambil apa? Buah kelapa. Okay, so this is not right. So I need you to basically throw all this idea out. The correct idea is the why itu. Okay, so basically this is the enforcement of understanding. Provided that you do the homework on your own. Janganlah tiru. Okay, do not copy your friend's solutions. Okay, in my experience, I have a class of 30 students, only 2 or 3 sets of solution. Yang lain seperti you je. Out of the 30 students who submitted the homework, I received only 2 or 3 different sets of solution, which means I know the source only 1 or 2 students. The rest are copying the students' punya work. So, what is this? What is this? Do you learn anything? I don't think you learn anything. You learn how to copy, which is wrong. Wrong concept. Okay, don't do this. Please don't do this. Normally, homework is given, in my case, I give you 1 week to finish it. 1 week or 10 days to finish it. So you have time to do it. You have time to do it. Okay, janganlah besok nak hantar malam ni baru nak buat. Memang tak sempat. Okay, so please don't do it the last minute. You have to do it sikit demi sikit. You have to do it little by little, step by step, every day sampai finish. For example. Okay, so this is the idea behind the reinforcement understanding. Again, we are stressing on understanding, not stressing on how to do it. We are stressing on the understanding. Hopefully, once you understand, you know how to do it. In Malaysia, what we did was we skip the understanding. We go straight away to how to solve the question. Step A, step B, step C, step D. And then kita buat latihan banyak-banyak, latih to B. Bila soalan lain sikit from the steps, then that's it. You are done. You cannot solve the problem. This is the issue. This is the issue. I noticed that in my son lah. My son, anak saya tingkatan 3. Tingkatan 4 lah tahun ni. Tingkatan 4. Macam tu lah dia. Saya kata, macam mana cikgu ni mengajar, saya kata. Saya tak setuju lah. Okay? Alright, so faham tak? The SLT. So, note that for 3-hour class, untuk 3 kredit, for 3 credit class, okay, we have 3-hour lectures plus 6 hours of your own activities, of your own activities. Maksud tadi 9 jam seminggu you need to allocate for this class. Okay, if you are taking 3 credits per semester, then you allocate 9 hours. What if you're taking 15 credits? You need to times 3, right? So you have 45 hours a week. If you're taking 18 credits, you have to allocate 54 hours a week. So orang kerja berapa jam ni satu hari? If you are working, how many hours per day?
8 doktor.
8. So 8 jam satu hari kali 5 hari seminggu, right? You work for 8 hours a day and 5 days a week, right? So which means if you are working, you are only spending like 40 hours a week. But becoming a student, how much time do you have to spend? If you are taking 15 hours, you are spending 45 hours a week. You are taking 18, which is the norm in UTM, you are taking 54 hours a week. But people who are working for a living only work 40 hours a week. So what does this tell you? Apa yang kita boleh dapat pengajaran dari saya punya sipir tadi ni? Okay, you need to understand that study is just like working. Actually, extra than working, because if you are taking 15, you have to spend 45 hours a week, which is maybe from 8 to 6 p.m., which is about 9 hours a week. Okay, in this case, 18 hours a week, maybe you have to do 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 for 6 days. Okay, so this is the amount of time you have to spend for your study. So I hope you understand now how much time you need to allocate. Okay, it is in the document. I'm not making this up. This is in the document here. 130 hours per semester. Okay, this is the manual. The manual how to study for this class. You have to spend 130 hours per semester, which break down to basically 9 hours per week for a 3 credit class. Okay, kalau kamu ambil 15 tu lah, 9 kali 5, 45 jam. Okay, so this is how much time you have to spend to study. How much time you spend to study. Alright, so I hope this is very clear to you. Can I ask you an honest question? How much time do you allocate for your study per week? Untuk 15 kredit. Be honest with me.
Actually, doktor, untuk tahu waktu spesifik study ni agak susah, doktor. Sebab macam saya lah, saya kadang suka belajar last minute.
Itu masalah dia. Itulah masalah dia. That's why saya rasa kamu punya alasan tadi. Kalau saya target 50 je, doktor. Sebab apa? Sebab style kamu macam tu. Study last minute. Study last minute. So saya kata tadi, what I told you just now, to get a good grade, to get an A for this class, this is the amount of time you have to spend for a 15 credits in your class. Okay, this is documented. This is not just my theory ke apa tau. No, this is documented. Here, it's documented here. Okay, documented dalam dokumen ni. Okay, so itu sebab saya tadi, you aim low, you might get lower than low. Okay, so aim high. Tak dapat high, dapat sikit bawah pada dia pun okey lagi. Boleh dapat B+, boleh dapat A-. Okay, so remember this. Okay, saya rasa pelajar kita di UTM tidak pernah diceritakan tentang benda ni. That's why you do not know how to study. I remember the first time saya masuk universiti di US tahun 80, I don't remember, maybe 85 ke 84. The first thing that they told us is about this. Benda ni, how to study. Sebab dia kata apa, you are coming from different parts of the world, from different education system of the world. Some people are coming from the US, the UK, Malaysia, Singapore, in the US. So we have different kind of education system. So this is how you should study in the US. Okay, the semester system. So I'm telling you now, this is based from my experience. And it's not just my experience, it's also documented in the document. Okay, it's also documented in the document. All right, so this is about the time. So the first thing is you must know how much time you have to spend. So basically you are working. Saya dulu, when I was in my undergrad years, I came to campus from 8, I'll get home at 6. I treat that as my work. Okay, tak akan balik rumah punya. Nak bawa bekal, if you nak makan, bawa bekal, bawa lah. Di US kan susah nak makan zaman tu. Tak ada benda yang halal, ayam pun tak halal, daging pun tak halal. Itu susah sikit lah. So, bawa lah bekal. Okay, so I treat my study as if I'm working 8 to 5. Janganlah habis kelas balik tidur. Lepas tu terajak, miss another class. No, treat it as a work. Ada masa in between lectures, do your homework, do your reading. Okay, so treat it just like you are working. Anyway, it's a good practice. After this, you'll be working. Okay, after this, you'll be working. All right, so this is the amount of time. The other thing is, okay, the first thing to get good deal is one. Pada saya ialah amount of time. Okay, that you need to spend for your study. Okay, and then yang kedua is how deep to study. How deep to study? Cukup ke study banyak ni je? Okay, macam mana? Remember, how deep to study is always about level of understanding. So setakat tahu buat je, setakat okay plug in numbers. If you just know how to plug in numbers to the equation, that is not That is the lowest level of understanding. Okay, that is the lowest level of understanding. So that is not the right way, the correct way of studying. Okay, so again, this is the level of understanding that we want. Okay, amount of time kita dah tahu. So for every lecture kita kata 1 hour pre-lecture, and then kita kena allocate 1 additional hour for post-lecture. Okay, for every 1 hour lecture. Okay, that is how we do it for the amount of time. Okay, the second one is how deep to study. How deep to study. Again, the stress is on a level of understanding. Kita dah out of time lah. Should I continue or should we stop now? It's already 12:50. Ada kelas ke? Ke kamu nak keluar makan juga apa ke? Anybody, can I know how many of you are on campus? Can you raise your hand using that icon dekat bawah tu? Ramainya. Okay. Ramai betul ni. Okay, so okay lah, saya ingat kita break for lunch. Okay, sebab kamu ada kelas after this kan. So kita continue on the second part how deep to study later. We continue on this how deep to study later on. So remember the amount of time itu. Remember, jangan study last minute, jangan buat homework last minute, jangan buat project last minute. No. Okay, don't do that. Okay, do not do that. So please, again, the analogy is that when you are studying, basically you are just working for your degree working for your degree. It's not about learning. It is about the amount of time that you have spent is basically the amount of time that you are working for your degree. Okay, so in your case, you are taking 15 means you are allocating 45 hours a week, which is 9 to 6 every day, okay, for 5 days. If you are taking 18 credits, which means 54 hours, maybe you are working from 8 to 6 for 6 days. Okay, maybe. All right. Okay, so I think we stop here and we continue. When is our next class? Saya dah tak ingat dah saya punya jadual waktu. Is it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, so we see each other again on Wednesday. So I think that's it for this session. Thank you very much for joining my class.